Mark Zuckerberg addresses families of victims of online child exploitive content after Senator presses him to apologize. They were not holding back. It was not a fun day for him, and Zuck took it. So here we go. Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Dick Durbin pushed for the passage of bills, including the Stop CSAM Act, SHIELD Act, and Kids Online Safety Act, stating parents are counting on us as much as they're counting on the industry to do the responsible thing. He challenged Mark Zuckerberg's assertion that social media impact on mental health, saying they change right in front of my eyes. They are mental health consequences that come from the abuse of this right. They have access to technology. During the Senate hearing, tech CEO facing scrutiny, Josh Hawley pressed Mark to apologize to the families online child exploitation families that were behind him, leading Zuck saying, I'm sorry for everything you have all been through. No one should go through the things that your families have suffered. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse criticized platform, saying, as a collective, your platform really suck at policing themselves, and called for revising Section 230. Can you play the clip where Hawley makes him stand up and apologize to the people behind him? Go ahead, Rob.
Anybody, you haven't compensated a single victim. Let me ask you this. There's families of victims here today. Have you apologized to the victims? Would you like to do so now? Well, they're here. You're on national television. Would you like now to apologize to the victims who have been harmed by your policy? Show them the pictures. Yeah. Wow, would you like to apologize for what you've done to these good people?
This is admitting guilt, though, huh? This is saying, like, okay, we're wrong.
I'm sorry. What do you think about him doing it?
Two things, but I respect accountability, number one, and number two, on the flip side, now you're accepting the guilt. So when colleagues like, can these people sue you now? And that's going to help the lawsuit 100%.
He had to do it. They made him do it. He didn't have any way out. You know, if he would have done it on his own, looked at the families and said, I am so sorry and I will do everything in my power to improve security that we will stop this from happening again. They made him do it. That's why he did it. He had no other option. So this whole theater, I'm sorry, I'm just going to look now and everybody's clapping. Save your claps. Yeah. He had to do it.
Mm-hmm. What if he didn't do it? But actually think about it. What if he didn't do it?
That would have looked horrible. No, Pat, I don't think there's absolutely no way.
No way.
How does he do it?
If he did it, there would have been boos. They would have kicked people out because at that moment
Let me ask this question. Do you think his lawyers prepped him to say one of them could ask you to stand up and apologize to the kids behind you?
I don't know.
And if they do ask, or do you think they didn't prep him and he did it himself?
I don't think there was no prep. Okay. I think it was off the cuff.
This was such a surprise.
It was a surprise, but again, I kind of respect that he actually. I've never seen.
Do you think there was a prep?
I don't think there was a prep, but I think he reacted the way he had to react because I think there was a lot of prep for this. There always is. Look, he's been in front of Congress several times, going back to Cambridge Analytics. It has not been a good 3 years in front of Congress at any moment for Facebook. And what he is about to face, what they have got in their hand is acts, the Something Act, the SHIELD Act. Those are called economic sanctions. If he was an international country, these would be called economic sanctions. He is about to be forced to do everything in his power to make filters. They are about to be forced to build tools that will take deep fakes off and take sexploitation and revenge porn off. They are about to be forced to moderate this. And there are states that have things on the books that are coming right now, Pat, that are saying that if you're under 16, you can't have a social media account. They are facing it. And what sucks is that he's in front of Congress. He's saying it like this when on the other side of this country in New York, they had one of the biggest days ever for the stock of the company.
Well, you talked about.
By the way, let me just, if I may, I want to just say what a few other people said. Then I want to get some reaction from you. Marsha Blackburn said, these kids in the back were wearing a shirt saying I'm worth more than $270. I don't know if you guys saw that or not. Facebook puts $270, the lifetime value of every teenage account on Facebook. That's their lifetime value. So they were wearing shirts in the back saying I'm worth more than $270. Here's the other stat that she talked about. Every 2 minutes, a child is bought and sold in America. Marsha Blackburn. Let me continue. Kennedy, Kennedy with the drawl and the accent, the way he talks.
John Kennedy
he says,
Louisiana.
You're no longer companies, you're countries. Virtual governments is what we call it, right? You're no longer companies, you're countries. He continues. We know we're in recession when Google has to let go of 25 members of Congress. What a line.
Wow.
What a line.
Wow.
He says, we know we're in recession when Google has to let go of 25 members of Congress. And then Holly does what he does. And on the stats with Holly, it was interesting because he talks about a study that was done by Facebook. You know what the study was? Instagram makes life worse for teenage girls. 1 out of every 3 girls, Instagram makes their life worse. A study done by Instagram and Facebook that he kept asking him about. And then there's another stat that came up saying 37% of teenage girls ages 13 to 15 were exposed to unwanted nude pics. 37% of teenage girls ages 13 to 15 were exposed to unwanted nude pics. Now, all this stuff that's taking place, you know how they're protected?
Section 230.
Section 230.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, now we're talking about the problem. I want to talk about solutions. You know, I started an organization called Act for America. It's the largest grassroots conservative movement in the country. We have helped pass 220 bills in Congress at the federal level and the state level. Part of those that we are working on, we work with members of Congress. We introduce bills in Congress. We're working on Section 230 to break it up, to change the laws. We're working on the SHIELD Act. We want people, if you are interested in making a difference for the country, because we can sit here and we can discuss issues and the problems that we are facing. But unless people start becoming more engaged in putting pressure on their member of Congress to make the right thing, when a constituents email a member of Congress, it takes it to a whole different level. Go to actforamerica.org right now. Click on Act Now. We have many campaigns on bills in Congress, social media bills included, and start taking action. Actforamerica.org. Look how many people have taken action on our website. Over 164 million actions through our website, emails and phone calls to Congress. Yeah. 500,000 activists on the ground. We need to update the 210 bills passed. But here's the important reason why people need to call their member of Congress when they're notified about issues. By the way, sign up to our action alert so you can be notified when there are bills coming down for a vote. We have a whole Act Now campaign prepared. And people tell me, why should I call my member of Congress, Brigitte? My voice is nothing. My senator needs to hear from 40 to 50,000 people before they do anything. Wrong. I have been working with Congress since 2002 when I started my organization, Act for America. And I asked them, how many people do you need to hear from to make an issue your top priority? And you will be shocked. On the federal level, 40 to 50 people. That's it. 40 to 50 people. And here is the science behind the numbers. They tally every email and every phone call and every letter. They believe if one person makes a phone call, he or she are representing 1,000 couch potatoes who feel the same way, but are too lazy to make a phone call or send an email, yet they vote on election day. That translates into 40 to 50,000 votes on election day.
Interesting. 40 to 50. You only need 40 to 50.
That's amazing.
That can make or break an election. On the state level, 12 to 15.
Oh, wow.
People don't know that. Now, here's what happens on our side. Our side, the right, they listen to podcasts, they listen to talk radio, they show up to conferences, they are educated. By golly, they are educated beyond their ears. They know, 1 mile long deep about an issue on a topic and information, but they do not know what to do about it. They are frustrated. They don't know what to do. On the left, you stop a 22-year-old nitwit calling himself a socialist, and you tell him, tell me, why are you a socialist? They cannot even answer you why they're socialist, but they're engaged. What happens on our side, our people don't call their members of Congress, don't email their
I love that. That's great feedback. So you got state 12 to 15, federal 40 to 50. By the way, Section 230, 1996, was passed under Clinton, I believe, and it's 26 words. Really, if you type in Section 230, 26 words, that protects it, that we can read here together. There you go, 26 words right there. Zoom in a little bit. No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provided. That's what protects a lot of these guys. And by the way, at the same time, what this means is, when Dennis Prager is going around saying, hey, YouTube is doing this to us, YouTube is silencing us, YouTube is doing that, Section 230, we're protected. And Dennis Prager's wife, Sue, was a lawyer. And they went out full on public lawsuit. Nothing happened. Yeah. Section 230. Section 230. Everybody, all the Congress, all the people that were calling out Zuck or TikTok folks, guess what they said? He says, this right here, everything we say to you, he says, you know you're protected by Section 230. You know you're protected. Everybody said the same thing. So if somebody really wants to do something about this, it starts off with Section 230.
It gives them immunity.
Exactly.
There's no accountability.
That's the word. It gives them immunity.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.